What's going on, everyone? This is Miguel with Retro Basement, and I have Mr. Benedict here from Strictly Limited Games, and we're going to be going over some questions with him today, such as how Strictly Limited Games came to be. Mr. Benedict, can you tell me a little bit about Strictly Limited Games and how it came to be with you and your partner?
I know everyone was expecting to hear Mr. Benedict's voice from Strictly Limited Games, but the audio got messed up. Basically, the question that I'm asking him here is, how did Strictly Limited Games come to be? And the response was, it came to be out of two guys having a love for collecting and playing video games in college. So that basically sums up what I asked Mr. Benedict. Of course, he summed it up a bit more eloquently than I did, but hopefully I get to do an interview with him again.
Will there be any collaborations with other companies similar to yourself, such as Limited Run Games or some of the other ones that are out there that do limited print publications?
Mr. Benedict's response to this was, hell yeah, I'm just kidding. That was not his response, but his response was, yes, we are looking into doing collaborations with other companies, such as Limited Run Games and also East Asia Soft. I asked him, could he give me a hint about what games might be coming in 2018, and he dropped a tiny hint that it would be a beat-em-up game, but I'm not going to tell what it is because I don't want to destroy the trust there.
And my other question is, how do you believe your company will evolve in, 1 to 5 years? I know that's a little crazy of a question, but I figure I would ask.
1 to 5 years is kind of a difficult question to answer, but I figured I would ask it anyway. He believes there's going to be a PlayStation 5, and he's hoping for the company to grow and flourish. I asked him a crazy question like, could they go into anything else? Where does he see the company going? Are they going to stick with video games? And of course, the company has the name like Strictly Limited Games, but I like to ask crazy questions sometimes, and I decide to ask if they might go into anime, because there's so many animes in Japan that haven't got released stateside. And the answer was most likely not, but you never know in the future about things, but most likely not. I don't want to add anything that he didn't say.
My other question is, this is kind of weird, and maybe this is not 100% pertaining to the whole Strictly Limit, but I was wondering, did you do your background in regards to, the other individual, did he do his background in computer science? Because I know you've already told me about your educational background.
The other co-founder of the company, Mr. Dennis, he's a jack of all trades. He does a little bit of, computer program-ish stuff, but he also has skills in other things. And Mr. Benedict, his background is in media.
My next question, has things gone as planned? What challenges have you faced? What things do you wish could have been done differently, if anything at all?
The shipping was a big issue. The thing that occurred with the shipping is it's just hard to get things out, and being only two people is what made it very difficult as a startup, up-and-coming company. So the shipping, if anything. I asked him what he felt about the pricing of Tokyo 47 and if he felt the pricing was right, because it's a game they haven't sold out of yet. And Mr. Benedict responded, yes, I felt the pricing was right and what it should be for what the overhead cost would be.
Thanks. You actually cleared the pricing thing up for me because I was one of the individuals that was wondering as well, and you cleared up my silliness on the spot here. But also, going into the question of what you mentioned just now concerning collector's editions, when can we see those, if at all?
The collector's editions are coming in a not too distant future. There wasn't a specific date revealed, but they're on their way.
Do you have any other thing that you want to say that you think the audience should know? Because I've asked all my questions. I'm really appreciative of you taking the time to interview with me. Do you think there's anything else? Is there anything else that you want to say to the viewers of the channel?
Basically, to sum this up, what was said is Mr. Benedict is not trying, he wants to get the company more well known. They're a new company, so of course they need growth. There have been interviews with various other people, other individuals requesting interviews, and they have been polite enough to interview with the people requesting interviews. But other than that, they're looking for growth and to do well as a company. We had such an amazing interview, everyone that's watching. It's really unfortunate and a little disheartening that this happened. Yeah, I'm a little upset about that because it was just a fun time, and he was such a nice guy to talk to. We talked a little bit about everything from how we both like Sega to other things. It was a really amazing interview and things that I wasn't 100% aware of because I don't own a company, of how certain things work when you go about moving the cogs and getting a video game approved. Sony of Europe can take a bit sometimes, and they don't seem like they're as enthusiastic about video games as Sony of America. Sony of America seems Sony of America doesn't take long to approve things. It's just like night and day between Sony in Europe and Sony of America. Nintendo was pretty easy to work with too, Mr. Benedict told me, and that's pretty awesome. So I'm really ecstatic that they're able to get things moving with these companies, but it's kind of crazy that you can't get things moving with Sony of Europe, a country that you live in. I would think it would be the opposite, I was telling him, and it's not the opposite. The Americas, the Sony in America, doesn't take long to get stuff approved, while it's vice versa for the European market. But everything in regards to approval, even though you have a Sony of America, you have a Nintendo America, you have a Sony of Europe, you have a Nintendo of Europe, you have an Xbox, and blah, blah, blah. But Xbox American, so it would fall down to the American. But let's go back to the Japanese company. Everything that you want approved for an American audience goes back to the Japanese entities, which is Nintendo of Japan and Sony of Japan. You have to ask them for their blessings, so you have to fly out there and get their blessings for anything to get moving in the Americas. It goes back to that. And sometimes that can leave a wrench in things that you want to get, but you can't get because people in Japan are saying no. And this was a wonderful interview, and I hope it's only one of many to come from different people. And also I hope to interview Mr. Benedict again with Mr. Dennis, the co-owner of Strictly Limited Games. I almost said Limited Run there. That would have been a big gaffe. But yeah, I'm hoping to meet him at E3. And anybody that's watching my channel, if you see me at E3, be sure to step up to me and say hi. Hey, Miguel, I see your little channel that you want on YouTube. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, and bell button. Thank you for bearing with me. And it's unfortunate that the audio got lost. But thank you, everyone. I truly appreciate it for sticking with me. Take care. Bye-bye.
What?